Yet another reminder that not every seaworthy vessel be crewed up to the standards of the sorcerer.
Then may the Lady of Lament speed you along. The fun ran dry with the coin. When the dancers see more than an empty purse, I will be a content Randor. Ando, you return.
Where in the blazes is that old man? Have you seen an old elf hanging around here lately? Dresses funny, probably drunker than an eel in a barrel of mead. Andra's crushing void, I thought as much. Listen, the guy I'm looking for owes me a lot of money. 5,000 coppers. You help me find him, and I'll give you 20%. Suit yourself. I'll be here if you change your mind, have ya? Did my best for the drunk old goat I was pestering you about, Oswald. Like the credulous fool I am, I gave him a loan and he ran off before paying me back.
We could use the money. I didn't want to trouble you, but your bed's had a rat problem for weeks.
Fine. Andra's great sagging tits. Fine. You can have 40% and rights to whatever baubles Oswald has on him. How about this? I give you 60% and we never discuss this again. Haggling for the fun of it not keeping you busy enough? The man I'm looking for, Oswald, was especially fond of one of the courtesans upstairs. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snippy little cur. She wasn't receptive to my particular charms. Let's see you do better. Maybe you can get more out of her than I can. She refuses to speak to me, the snip. What do you want to know? I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that. But hey, what the hell? I'm one of the countless minor nobles that litter the Deerwooden countryside. You know Admeth Hadrit, hero of the War of Defiance? He's my great whatever. See, this is why I don't like to tell people about it. They get all weird, like you right now, being weird. I'm one of the countless when people find out, they start doing weird shit. Calling me lady, opening doors for me, buying me drinks. Really, the title is a mockery. It means nothing to me. It's my fault, really. I should have known better than to believe that damned old drunk knew what he was doing. Man's a wizard. You understand, and a tinkerer. He convinced himself and me he could, with enough Luminous Adra, create a device that would add years to one's life. Must have been a crock of shit, because one day he up and ran without a word of explanation or apology. I thought I knew him better than that. The man's a family friend. Has been for... Well, must be 4 generations now. The perk of being an elf, eh? I was hoping you wouldn't ask me. I'm one of the countless... My thoughts exactly.
Ahoy, Captain. If I could bend your ear a moment, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me aboard. You run a tight shop, and you ain't no terrible person, neither. It'd be a welcome change from the gentleman of leisure. I've a gift for you. This trinket be from one of the first ships I hunted. Malnage would have snatched it had I not found the perfect hiding spot. I know were I to tell you that, you mightn't want it no more. Just a jest, Cap. Nay, I tucked it away in my beard. Didn't wear braids back then, so my hair caught about everything from feathers to fish bones. Malnar shook me down for plunder after each raid. I figured out she wouldn't go nowhere near my beard. Said my face were like a saw-rib fetish. Don't rightly know for sure, Cap. Thought at first she wanted me. Lasses be that way sometimes, treating you worse than what they fancy you. Given she tried to get me killed twice within our first fortnight together, I thought mayhap she were in deepest love. Didn't fancy her in the least. But a man has needs. I figured at the time that she were as wet. Figured I'd give her a whisper about what we might get down to in the old. Her answer were an unequivocal no, made with a sharpness. Might have been the closest I've ever been to death. You be entirely welcome. Now, if you'll pardon me, I've roundabout reached my limit for sentiment.
And what do we have here? See something you like? Aloth! This is the last place I expected to see you. Have your interests changed so much since our time at Bragon Hill?
No, I still enjoy tile puzzles and deflecting personal questions. Anyway, what are you doing here?
I could ask the same of you. I make my own hours, meet fascinating people, and the coin's nothing to sneer at. Better than stuffy old books and unflattering robes. It's good to see you again, Aloth. Anyway, I should get back to it. Be well.
It was lovely seeing you. Perhaps lovely is too strong a word. I meant pleasant. Perfectly agreeable. I can see where I may have confused the poor fellow in our academy days.
Did you enjoy the show? There's more to see, if you're interested. I suppose. I was raised in the Adir Empire. When I was young, I studied to be an arcane knight. After an incident at my school, I left the continent and wandered until I found myself in Nikotaka. As you can see, I stayed. A handful of my fellow students got up to a bit of mischief that ended with several people dead. Did you enjoy the show? I suppose. I was raised in the Adir Empire, same as any of the courtesans here, I imagine. I showed an aptitude. I trained with a master, and when I was ready, I began accepting clients of my own. There is more to every story. But the rest of it belongs to me, and I don't care to share it. I suppose. I was raised in the Adir Empire. When I was young, I studied to... Did you enjoy the show? Ah, the money-minded type. I've always found fiscal responsibility very... attractive. My time will cost you 150 copper. Till later, then.
Give me a real chalice.
Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my favorite poet, Skilber. It's futile to attempt to summarize the whole of a person in simple words. But I appreciate your curiosity nonetheless. I am an actor. Trained from childhood. Difficult for you to believe, I'm sure. My troupe were my family, and we traveled the whole of the Adir Empire. The work was good when the crowds were grateful, and their pockets swelled with coin. I found a more dependable application of my talents here. To touch the hearts of others with my voice. Have you come to hear some verse? 100 copper pans, a reasonable fee to experience the sublime words of Adir's great. Come, lay your head on my breast. I will read to you the work of my Oh, her! Yes. She is persistent, isn't she? She barged in and began asking me all sorts of inappropriate questions about my customers. She grew incensed when I asked her to leave. She's no longer welcome in my room. I do hope she's not a friend of yours. Her manners are atrocious. Do you know Skilber? She wrote in the time before Adir's marriage to Kulkin, when the kingdom was fire-bright and yearning for a purpose. Now, listen.
An exquisite poet. Oh, this shall be a rare treat.
Ship at dawn. its face pressed to the sea's slick lips, mice the wind, my brother's fingers pulling at I, a horizon whose borders your thumb, you, slack-jawed and groaning, your chin in the hard grip of a pleasant diversion, yes? Visit me anytime, my friend. Have you come to hear some verse? I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave. If I knew a man named Oswald, and if that man was in danger, I would still decline to be involved. Now, is there something else I can do for you? I'm sure I don't know who you're talking about. Now please leave. Oswald has visited oft of late. He's a sentimental old man, and he longs for the words of our homeland, Adir. I would often read the old epics to him in their original Eldaderan. He's grown paranoid recently, however, always muttering about the shadows following him and other such nonsense. It was quite unnerving, frankly. He came to me in a panic a few days ago and shoved his journal into my hands. He told me he'd be back for it, but I've not seen hide nor... I wonder, perhaps his journal would help you find him. Here, take this key. You'll find the journal in my armoire.
I got this. I got this.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget. I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this. Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult, but we cannot always be strong. 300 copper. I know it's a bit more than most, but my service is like nothing you will find anywhere else in Neck. Very well. Remove your clothing and shut the door. You may leave.
Come to seek ablutions for your sins? Ha! Get it? Ablutions? Absolution? Ha! I crack bus, massage, bath, whatever you need. Just ask. Oh, you don't want to hear about that. I lived a boring life, so there wouldn't be much to the telling. Worked out in the end, of course. Now I specialize. I get the stability's good and all, but I haven't seen anything that gets my blood pumping in ages. I can't pretend to know your troubles, but if you ever want to talk about them, I'm here to listen. For a price, of course. Nothing's free, friend, and certainly not time. Now, hell and a half. I think I might have pulled something in my face. Where you headed? No kidding. I like to see something like that for myself. Do you think I could come with you? Just for a bit?